7th of October. Welcome to the Daily Ninja Show. If you're unfamiliar with the term ninja, that's because he's the investment you add around this guy here, the tank, MVR. He's basically a resource ETF. I'll leave a video about him at the end if you're interested. Okay, so the banking index, XBK, ASX, so we're just hanging up here. No reason to concern at this stage. ASX 300, just cruising. You can see one of those couple of weeks ago indecision candles. So we don't know which way we're going, but no signs of stress yet. So this is America, obviously not live. This is Friday. So even though everyone's worried about all the debt problems and America parceling up debt, which is all true, it's a bit of a mess. But they're led by this guy, the Nasdaq, and everyone. That's why I think they play games. Wall Street, they get everyone bearish, and then they go and take out all their stops when people go short. Which leads me to another one. The haven't shown this one really for a while. This is the dollar index, the DXY, the Dixie. Everyone's saying it's going to fall to 50, 60, 40. You can see it actually is really on the edge. So because everyone's bearish on it, it'll probably go up, which will put some blockages on the commodity prices. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the dollar strengthen because everyone's bearish on it. Okay, so gold, we haven't had the paper boys wake up. So he's just sitting at 4,000 there, still above the trend line. So at this stage, no reason to panic. And this is a long-term thing anyway. I reckon if it does get smashed down, it'll get bought up. Anyway, so that's the life we live in. Okay, so how did the miners ETF, as per gold, just sitting above support there. There wasn't much action really anywhere in the resource space, except for maybe copper. We'll get to that. There's just trying to see if there was anything. We've got this one here. Oh no, so KAR is still sitting there. SUH still sitting there, so they're explorers. Alright, so one area that is looking pretty good at the moment is copper. So the copper price looks like it's going to go. And there's a little bit of a comparison I'd like to show you. So what I've just done is added the gold price. So this is the gold price before 2020, 2024. So yeah, it just sort of then bang. There's a bit of a correlation maybe to the copper price. Because the theory is gold goes first, then copper, then oil. So anyway, so copper's. So this is our wire ETF. I wish it could come back for people to enter, but you probably have to pay up. XMET, that's the copper and silver miners ETF. In terms of some copper miners, charts look okay. So A1M is looking fine. I guess we should have a look at BHP. That's still looking fine. Actually, you might. I didn't know, but you might know, uranium, BHP is actually like the third largest producer of uranium in the world, but it only makes up like 3% of their revenue. So if you didn't know that, now you do. Hot chili's looks like it's found some good support around here, so it looks like he might want to go up. CBE, so their explorer stage in Botswana. Anyway, their chart looks alright. RMI, Tanzania, they had the big break and doing a bit of a bottom. Looks like they want to go too. Alright, so that's copper. Uranium. So spot price looks like it's bouncing off this 20 week moving average. URNM having a bit of a pullback. This is good. It's making a good entry point. I like it. So Paladin just chilling there. Oh, bad news coming for some people. So this guy here, DYL. Now, the boss resigned, and I thought it's no big deal. It's not as though he said to one guy, it's not as though he hooked up with Hunter Biden on the weekend. But I was listening to some guy interview Rick Rule, and he said the only reason he owned Deep Yellow was because of the guy that ran it, and he sold it because the guy's left. So yeah, I was trying to find that video on YouTube, but I couldn't. So don't ask me which video it was. But yeah, there wasn't much other action in uranium either. So it's been pretty lackluster day. Yeah, I missed sea of red on the rare earths space. So Linus, that's fine, just hanging in there. Aluka, that's the other big one. So it's fine to hold. I mean, it's probably, I reckon if Linus or Aluka get slammed, you should buy them. But basically, all the rare earths. The Trump bump has finished, and I think I had said before that like BHP and Fortescue, they could all produce rare earths because it's a byproduct of stuff that they deal with, but they don't because it's like too costly, too hard to process. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind, with that. What's this one? NFM. Well, NFM was the only one that sort of broke zero, didn't have red. But he's rare earths and copper. Oh, and VML has got some green today. But everyone else is pretty much red. So welcome to the resource world. But I think, yeah, rare earths, just try and stay away from people digging holes, and stick with ones close to production, and you know your finance is going to get approved. Okay, my girlfriend, silver. Okay, so a bit like the gold price. So I'm very proud of her. She's holding $48, which, considering that smackdown, is very good. And she's above this trend line here. So I'm pretty happy with her performance. We'll see how we'll see how tonight goes. Zinc still looking fine. Lead, like a lead balloon. So South 32 is probably the mature play with all that. And again, in the silver space, there wasn't much joy. So nothing to show really in terms of other silver stocks to get into. Just got to wait. They're all waiting for, obviously, all the silver price to go. Oil. Okay, so I had my little oil vid. Got a few views on it. I'm surprised I only had one person who he said, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. There's warming." Well, some people. Well, that's just my opinion. I don't believe in it. Anyway, oil is holding up fine, even if it like pulls back a couple of bucks. I reckon we're somewhere near a bottom. Natural gas looking fine. So the King Woodside is, I think he's just the safest way to play it, as per that video I did. I've got a whole bunch of other little ones that I'm keeping my eye on. And if you have any little things that you have your eyes on, share it with us. It doesn't have to be in oil; it can be in anything. Okay, so the nickel price still trying to bottom there. The only one though with showing a bit of life is this gal. So he had a bit of a green candle today. Everyone else is pretty boring. Even graphite was pretty boring. Yeah, that's the recrawl. So now iron ore. So iron ore is starting to find a bottom. So I mean, really the safest way is FMG, the direct into it. FEX. So FEX has run a bit. This is why I like the rounded bottoms. You see, it's like everything, then they get chucked out. So I probably wouldn't chase that. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, some mining services related. So DNL still looking fine. Worley. So now that they sort of specialise in the oil and gas copper space, so I reckon they're pretty stable. They're actually in the Australian Super Resource Model portfolio. Platinum, pretty sporadic really. Shooting star and a bullish pin bar here in sideways action, so it doesn't know where it's going at the moment. Long term it's up. Coal. So it's broken the wedge, come back, tested support. NHC is my preferred avenue for you if you like it. 8.2% div. Buy it in your super fund, Oz Super. And Whitehaven Coal's another one that's looking. The div's only 2.4, but the chart pattern's probably more bullish than New Hope. Alright, so we've got one to keep your eye out on is Reliance Worldwide. So they're the plumbing, sort of got quite a bit of exposure in US, so they're forming a bit of a wedge here. So they haven't broken out yet, but just put it on your radar. That was shared to me by Sham, I think it was. Okay, so who we got next? technology. So how's DTech? So DTech, defense stocks. So that's, well, looks okay. Bet. It was put forward by Hang the Bankers. Great username. He reckons it's better than LNW for gaming stock. So they got software so they don't gamble per se, they provide the software. Anyway, lovely rounded bottom. And this one here is CCR. They're sort of debt collection software that all the insurance companies, governments, utilities have started using them. They're making money actually. So anyway, the chart looks pretty good. EOS, so how's he? It's pretty volatile. So here you go. So if you've held EOS since here and not sold, then you can live in a resource bull market. Anyway, EOS is looking fine. It's broken, consolidating, so all good. There's another one. We've got another one here. KPO, Kalina Power. So developing technologies to generate zero emissions baseload electricity from wasted heat in energy industrial processes. Anyway, chart looks pretty attractive if you like that kind of stuff. And then a big boy, Megaport MP1. He seems to be doing all right. Quite a lot of our big tech stocks don't look that exciting, so can't really show them off. Healthcare, we have anything? Well, that's our healthcare index, so it's pretty lackluster really. I've got one here. I think this was last week maybe. EZZ, so health and well-being products. They seem to be a few of these companies popping up now. Somnomed, another treating sleep disorders, another rounded bottom there. And then finish off with some lithium. My tablets, take my tablets. Yeah, so the lithium price, well, all you can say is it's broken. It's no longer in a downtrend anymore. But it's really interesting how this is like a month of going sideways, but the stocks just go up and down. Pilbara's hit resistance, so I'd be not purchasing. I'd wait for a pullback. In terms of one that's looking alright is GL1. So they're in the goldfields. They just got their mining license. They're still a couple of years away, but anyway, the chart looks like it wants to go. Alright, so yeah, pretty boring day today. Let's hope there's a bit more action tomorrow, but that's your daily wrap. And as I said, if you've got anything that looks good, share it with us. Alright, see ya.